Mike going to put it back to where he wants it? I want to put it back to where we can't save this. Can't save it.
Also need the memory from it.
Yeah, but I don't have it. And it has to be at 2. No, but I got instead of an 8, what is that little like a digital pen turning in like no, it's like all shaking because I have an 8 and I know that I tried
Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me now? Okay, I guess we're going to start. We want to give people a chance to come in. I just sort of wrote something before we get into this evening to give you a little bit of an idea of what went into this, and I'm nervous and I'm not even having to sing the whole thing this time. So we're glad you took the time to come. There's been a lot of effort put into this, and you're going to hear a lot of different music tonight, so hope you enjoy it. But I wrote, "Thank you and welcome to Retrospect." The project started somewhere around November of 2002. My friend from Kansas City, Brian, whom I'd recorded and performed with for around 10 years, had been visiting and told me, we had been visiting, and he told me that he wanted to be involved in my next fundraiser due to the fact that 2 years ago I asked him to, and he was already committed to another gig. So as this process developed, I received a postcard from a lady friend of mine named Holly Lewis, who had moved to Nashville and had been singing and recording a new CD, Faith in the Storm. The postcard was an invitation to purchase her work, and I immediately acted and very promptly received it. I have to say, I've had the pleasure of listening for several months, and to this day still enjoy the music and the personal honesty of Holly's faith and heart. So the next logical step was to invite Holly to join us and perform some of her music. She was delighted, and then there were 2. While all this was going on, I had realized that we had only a guitar player and a drummer, and that wasn't going to get the job done. So I talked to my son Nathan, who originally wanted to drum it, and I told him that Brian and I had recorded the records together and done all this, and Holly, and I just had to tell him no. So he had played the show that I did a couple of years ago, and he did very well. So I asked him if he would play the bass, and what can I say? You just listen to him tonight and you'll get my answer. Then I approached a keyboardist by the name of James Hackler. James and I had met through the internet. We lived 2 miles apart and played in a group for about a year. I dropped by his house and presented the idea and some of the music, and we discussed the show. He discussed it with his wife Jennifer, and they were on board. Rehearsal started in the middle of January, 2 nights a week, learning Holly and Brian's material. In the meantime, Holly's in Nashville, Brian's in Kansas City. Nathan and I are forever grateful. James and Jennifer, would you and your family stand up for a moment, please? They allowed us to come into their house for about 2.5 months and we've had practicing, so I'm sure their kids will never listen to music the same. Okay, so there you have, I lost my place. Okay, while I was putting the fundraiser together and rehearsing for that, I'd been playing at my home church here, Christ Community Church, and recording a CD with Greg Copeland. And Greg is our praise and worship leader and songwriter, and he's also an Aggie. So it was inevitable that we had to do some of his music also. So there you have what is involved in creating the music you're about to hear. The show will be in 3 sets. First, we will hear from Holly Lewis, who came in from Nashville, and I have to tell you, Holly and I talked on the phone about a week ago, and she was real concerned because she'd been having a lot of drainage, and she had just done a gig in Florida and come back, and she was concerned about her voice. Well, she comes in yesterday before rehearsal, and she'd gone to the doctor, and she has a throat ulcer and swollen vocal cords. So you all just keep her in your thoughts, and tonight as she sings, because I know she's going to sing from her heart for you tonight. Okay, and then we will hear from Brian Leftwich from Kansas City. and then Greg Copeland will close out the night. Holly and Brian and Craig will each have a small interview segment done over here so that you'll get a chance to learn a bit about them and things that music they've done in their life, and it'll be interviewed by my youngest son, Preston. So, see if I have anything else here. Okay. All the material you hear tonight will be original. All the material you hear tonight will be original, with the exception of one song that Leftwich threw in yesterday, and we just decided to do it. So everything else will be songs that were written, recorded by these three artists. Okay, we hope that you enjoy the ebbs and flows of the music and realize that the gift of music in its purest form can create one of the most powerful messages that reaches all people. Thank you again for your time and your patience. I would now like to introduce you to my wife, Vickie, who is going to give you an oversight of why we're doing this event tonight.
First, I want to say thank you guys for coming out. It's a bright, sunny evening, and that's when you like to be outside and enjoying this, because in Oklahoma we never know what the weather's going to do. So we've got some slides to show you first, and those will kind of explain to you what we do. This is our 6th year to go to Houston, and it's one of those things, I think it's kind of like, for those of you who know what it's like to hold your grandbaby for the first time, you know, or see your baby be born. It's one of those things that you can't really explain it. You just feel it, and it makes you a different person. And we prepare for many, many weeks getting ready for this trip. And when we get there, we feel like, well, we've got all this to give to the kids, because we've got toys, we've got candy, we've prepared Bible story lessons. We take them swimming or to the zoo, or something that these kids just don't get to do, because they are inner city children that when you tell people that you work with those kids and you go to their house to pick them up, they think you're like one of the bravest people on earth. And I guess we don't know enough from Oklahoma to be scared, because we're not, and we know that we're there doing God's work. And so we're going to show you some slides that just kind of show what kind of things that we do, that we are having fun, but not only are the kids blessed because we come there, but we walk away with huge, huge blessings. And I want to just remind you, this is a concert, but we have things in our coffee house to sell. We have donation jars set around strategically, and we have all kinds of things to eat in the coffee house. And there is a new place in Tulsa called Jamba Juice, and it's on 71st, in with Old El Paso, next door to Cheddar's. And if you haven't been there, you need to go. It's awesome. And they helped us promote and have donated drinks tonight. So if you haven't tried it, try it, because you will get hooked. So enjoy the slides and the show, and just be blessed. And thank you so much for coming.
Hello. Maybe we ought to turn our cell phones off. What do y'all think? Okay. Hi, Preston.
How you doing, Molly?
Well, I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm alright. Well, tonight I have a few questions for you. Do you mind answering them?
Yes. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, thanks.
I don't want to answer you. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, tell us about your life growing up and where you're from.
Okay, well, I was born in Kansas City, Kansas, but I grew up mostly in Tulsa. And, of course, and that's ironic because Brian Leftwich is from Kansas City.
And what was the rest of the question? And tell us about your life growing up.
Well, I just always remember being involved in music and theater because my mother was the director of the theater department over at TU. And, oh, I'm going to kill Stan for that picture. You are so dead. How did that get him to do it? That's me in a tutu. Isn't that fabulous?
That's hilarious.
I was interested in dancing, too. Unfortunately, my physique didn't allow me to continue. Oh, I can still do a tap dance to Alley Cat, though. Shuffle, step. Go ahead.
Well, what inspires you to perform live and create music?
Well, I tell you, my first inspiration, I remember wanting to do music ever since I was a child. However, when I was about 15 years old, I went to a club here in town and saw a gentleman named Jeff Koons playing keyboards. And I had known him since the 5th grade and hadn't seen him in a couple of years. And I looked up and I saw him and I said, that's what I want to do. And I hounded him ever since for years and years.
Well, tell us about your new CD, Faith in the Storm, and how did they come together?
Stan, you are so dead. My CD, Faith in the Storm, came about, unfortunately, I lost my mother a couple of years ago. And she left me a little bit of something. And so I decided to use that money. I've been in Nashville for 10 years. And I've always wanted to do a CD, and I've been writing these Christian songs for the whole 10 years I was there. And I thought, I'm just going to do it. It was, not long after 9/11, and I was like, I don't want to regret anything. And so I said, I'm just going to go in and take this money and make this CD, and I'm just thrilled that I did it, and I'm thrilled to be here.
That's good.
You can tell me to shut up, too, if I'm talking too long.
No problem. Well, do you have any funny stories from live on the road that you would like to share?
No.
Is that your final answer?
No. Can I use a lifeline?
There are no lifelines in church, man.
Yes, there is a lifeline in church. The only funny story that I could think of when Stan told me you were going to ask me this wonderful question was I was playing in a band called Magnum, and we were touring around the southern region, and we went to a place in Houston, a club. And Brad, who is no longer with us either, the head of the band, he was a naturalist, and he did not wear deodorant. And we almost got kicked out of the club because he smelled so bad. But we got him in the shower, and it was all fine.
Well, that's great to know.
Well, you asked.
Yeah, that's smart, I guess. Well, who or what did you want to be when you were a child?
Sharon. That was a big answer. I wanted to be Jeff Koons, Amy Grant, and these guys when I grew up. I just wanted to play music.
Oh, there's another one. You look beautiful.
Such a gentleman.
Well, thanks for being here and sharing your thought about music and life. Since you're here, why don't you play a few songs from your CD, Faith in the Storm?
I would love to. Thanks, Preston.
Thank you.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, and deliver us from evil. For thy is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Well, we got through the first one. Oh, what are we doing next? Seek the Beast? Brian got scared. This next song I wrote, boy, you know, I was living in Nashville, and I first got there and I was waiting tables at every restaurant ever in the whole city. And everywhere I went, it was just, there were so many people just gossiping and negative, and, you know, I was trying to just really be uplifting, encouraging, and all that stuff. Find some peace, you know. I just wanted to have some peace in my soul, in my spirit. So I wrote this song. Hey Craig, James needs a little bit more keys in his monitor, please. Not that we haven't asked Craig to do like 100 billion things in the last 2 days. I'd like at this time to embarrass my favorite godchild. Everybody, this is Melody. She hates me for doing it. Do any of the kids want to come and sit right down here? I would love for y'all, or adults, I don't care. Y'all just flop around on the floor. I guess that's no. Does she need to come over a little? Turn the lights off. Everybody's looking at me. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Here's a song I wrote called Melody. Eyes knew a heavenly child with hair of gold. Her skin was like a porcelain doll, a beauty to behold. Her eyes danced in the sunlight, her smile was ivory. She was like a song in perfect harmony. All the other children were drawn to her. Must have been the glow around her face. She laughed and sang and danced with them till the sun went down. And as they fell asleep, her wings would lift her off the ground. Melody, her name was Melody. When she sang, there was a symphony. Melody, she seemed to me to be an angel. Melody. In the light she lives and she travels through the clouds. She's a messenger of love, and I still hear her now singing Melody. Her name was Melody. She seemed to me to be an angel. She's an angel. How embarrassing is that? Craig Greg, can you just turn me down? I feel like I'm so loud. Okay, here's a song I wrote for my mom. My mother was not a Christian per se. And she believed in something, I'm just not sure what it was. But anyway, I wrote this. She was an avid reader, and she read every other book ever written, ever, almost. Okay, well, not maybe every book. But she told me she read the Bible one time when she was a young girl, and that was it. So I wrote this song for her. I really wrote this song. A story written by man. You never gave the Bible a second look, never did understand. The plot must have been too deep for you to read. Jesus never came alive for you to meet. But if you only knew him, he would tell you of his love. He'd wrap his arms around you. You tremble from his touch. He's greater than you'll ever know. He shed his blood for you. If you only knew him, your life would be made new. If I could paint a picture with these words, I'd paint it of him. A stroke of the brush to show his life and what it was worth. He died for your sin. What kind of introduction do you need? Just open your eyes. He sculpted you and me, then created the skies. And if you only knew him, he would show you all his love. He'd wrap his arms around you. You tremble from his touch. He's greater than you'll ever know. He shed his blood for you. Oh, if you only knew him, your life would be made new. He's waiting for you to enter your heart. He wants you to ask him into your heart. Oh, and if you only knew him, he would give you all his love. He'd wrap his arms around you. You tremble from his touch. He's greater than you'll ever know. He shed his blood for you. Oh, if you only knew him, your life would be made new. If you only knew him, your life would be made Yeehaw! One more I gotta get through. Yoo-hoo! Jesus loves me, yes I know. All right. How are y'all doing? All right. Here's a song that we're gonna need some help on. So, stand. If you need to get up and stretch, now's the time. Oh.
Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Hey, Preston, how you doing?
I'm alive.
What's your mask look?
Well,
How many times do you kill her?
5 times before they hit the ground. Well, I have a couple of questions for you, Brian. Mind if I ask them?
Not at all.
Okay. Well, hey, Brian, I heard that you moved to Kansas City a while back and have been very active in the music scene. Can you tell us about some of the musical endeavors you've been involved in?
Quite a few, actually. I've gotten mixed up in a lot of things up there. Did some of the songs we're going to play tonight. We did an album that we recorded here mainly and mixed and finished up there in Kansas City called Hear the Music. And out of that, I got a lot of studio work. I got to enjoy playing with different people here and there and different kind of music. And did that for a while and did an acoustic duo with a friend of mine in Ken Sands, and we'll do a couple of songs that he and I wrote together tonight also. And just right now playing in a kind of a jazz, funk, soul, R&B, classic rock band.
Saturday Night Fever?
Yeah, but not really, yeah. We don't know what we are. We just show up and they pay us. We're okay. We're good.
Well, let me ask you this, Brian.
Try to
At the time you were playing with a very established band called Charlie and the Stingrays, you had the pleasure of meeting Dick Clark of American Bandstand. Can you tell us about that experience?
It was extremely surreal.
Surreal?
Surreal, yeah.
Okay.
I grew up watching American Bandstand like probably most of us in here did. And this band I've been in, Charlie and the Stingrays, have been around Kansas City for approximately 18 years at that time. Just playing clubs and doing classic rock songs and all the hits that they could think of or that they could pull off. And somewhere along the line, Dick Clark has a restaurant in Kansas City called American Bandstand Restaurant. He's got 5 of them around the country. And as you walk into the place, there's they call it the Walk of Fame. Walk of Shame for some folks, but the Walk of Fame in general. And they've got memorabilia from Madonna and Michael Jackson and so forth and so on, YouTube. And he called all the restaurants and he says, you know, I think we're missing the boat on something. We've got all these national acts in there, but in each one of these towns, he's like Cleveland, and some pretty big music towns. He said, in all these towns, there's got to be a band that everybody knows, that has been around forever, been slugging it out. We need to induct some local bands into these clubs. And the first people that came up was this Charlie and the Stingrays band that I've been in for about 3 years at the time. So we get the call and we're like, oh boy, okay, yeah, we can do that. Unfinished business. Too long, too complex, but we got, of course, I'm going to introduce everybody here real quick. Over here on the drums, you know, Mr. Stan Lindley, you all know him. His son Nathan on the bass. Ray Tackler on the keyboards back here. He has just been working his tail off to get this going. And joining us tonight in the backup positions are Holly Lewis, who you just experienced, and Stan's lovely wife, Vickie. And she's going to play some flute for us, too. Well, let's start this thing out. Should we do this?
Well,
Oh, you got more.
finally, I know you have a wife named Peg
Yes, I do.
and a son named Ian. Could you let us know a little about how you and your wife met? For some reason, I think music had something to do with it.
Well, of course. She was a bartender at the time, and I played the bar. We met, it was like June 4th, 1984, and by August 7th, 1984, we were married. And we've been together ever since. And we've got a wonderful 13-year-old son in here. He's kind of turning into a little bit of a musician himself. He plays bass and drums, and I try and encourage him that if I could just get him to practice.
Well, thanks for being here tonight, Brian. Could you please perform a few songs from your album, Hear the Music?
We'll be happy to do that. Hang on.
See you, dude.
Go back to the Counterpoint released an album in 1982, 83. I've forgotten the date now. I'm old. Yeah, that's right. A song called Keep On Fighting. Quick, can I get your drums in the monitor? Thank you. There's another one that was written during the counterpoint years, but didn't get to do it then, so we're gonna do it now.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. 8 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take these things away from me. There are things I do not need. Simple smile and compassion.
I don't know what mic I got here. I don't even know if it's the right one. Stan warned you a little while ago about a song that wasn't original in this procedure. This would be the one. All right, name that tune, okay? Yes, Mom.
When I'm needing a friend, I can talk to the wind.
I sure am glad that I found him. Sometimes he seems to be the only one beside me who can feel the Lord's breath all around him. Winter's cold, frozen ice, or a bright autumn day, on a warm sea, you can hear him say, cry for me, sigh for me, sad my breezes blow, stay for me, play for me, the song my friends will know. My lonely wind must blow. Mighty friend that is mine, can you give me a sign? You leave nothing but only to hear. I've seen the tall trees bend low when it's mighty winds blow, and it's all the reason I feel. Hear him call for the earth, lonely, I can feel his great pain. But on the eve of this day, I'll join in his refrain. Sigh for me, sigh for me, sad my breezes blow. Stay for me, play for me, the song my friends will know. My lonely wind must blow. When I'm in the rain, I remember in my life with the breezes of sorrow. I'll be leaving soon, 'cause I've got to claim the land that we'll find tomorrow. On the black snowy night, is a market, and I know cry for me, sigh for me, sad my breezes blow. Stay for me, play for me, the song my friends will know. Cry for me, sigh for me, sad my breezes blow. Stay for me, play for me, the song my friends will know. My lonely wind, my lonely wind, my lonely wind, oh, must blow.
Do a song for some children here again. A couple of them, actually, the more I think about it. The song written many years back. I had a sister who had a baby with some serious birth defects. And I always didn't know what to say about it because I couldn't say anything. There wasn't anything I could do, and that's how frustrating that can be. But I wanted to kind of give her something to give some hope, and for other people who maybe were more fortunate to think about what's going on around them and to try and do something to help whenever they can. Song called Reach Out. We can transfer this one.
scene. Summer, our lives just don't mean a thing. But we can't turn our backs, we can't forget the past, because the future needs our help today. Reach out and touch the hand of one who needs you. Reach out and touch a life, give a damn. Reach out and give a child a chance to be a child. This childhood only lasts a short while. It's gonna take a lot, we're together or we're not. We've got to act, can't wait another day. And now we have the means to realize their dreams, to watch them grow, run, jump, and play. Like every other kid, every day. Reach out and touch the hand of one who needs you. Reach out and touch a life, give a damn. Reach out and give a child the chance to be a child. This childhood only lasts a short while. And we see them smile when they've reached the extra mile. We'll say a prayer for those not there that day. We're caught in between the play and the scene. Somehow our lives just don't mean a thing. But we can't turn our backs, we can't forget the past, because the future needs our help today. Oh, reach out and touch the hand of one who needs you. Reach out and touch a life when you can. Reach out and give a child a chance to be a child. A child that only lasts a short while. 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 Better when they smile. Reach Thank you. No charge for the feedback. I gotta explain something. Craig Reagan's back here running sound tonight.
Now you need to take the time.
He's been, no, I'm not trying to point fingers. I'm trying to explain what's going on. We've been working for the last 2 days here at the church. We got the sound, everything just fine, and it was great. And we walked out of here last night going, this is perfect. Nothing can happen. We walked in today, and the memory battery on that board back there had gone. So we had to start all over again. So if it's not quite perfect, please bear with us. I'm not falling for that one again. This is a song that was written, the lyrics were written by a friend of mine named Ken Zans in Kansas City. And it was kind of we were playing in a kind of a little country type band at the time, and the drummer and his wife had gotten married and bought a house. And we wanted to do something special for them, so we gave them, this is a little housewarming prayer for them. It's a song called Smile Down on Your Children. When the wind bends the willow asleep. Give them your warmth. God bless this home. Smile down on your children. They stand alone. When the world out the window is filled with despair, lift up their hearts. The fear and confusion just hang in the air. You got to show them the part. God bless this home. Smile down on your children. They stand alone. Let these rooms ring with laughter, sip from the day that stands by the door. Let your love be the answer that shows them the way to peace evermore. God bless this home. Smile down on your children. They stand alone. God bless this home. Smile down on your children. They stand alone. They stand alone. They stand alone. Now for something completely different.
All right, buttons. Plug it in. There you go. Little song written by me and Stan way back. One of the first things we ever wrote together. So a little ditty about the sea. A song called Lady of the Depths.
ways, only ways of the past. Without the glory of human disaster, I'm up to the last of Titanic. Cities constantly on our mistakes and no panic.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Mr. James Hackler over here, he's written a little ditty that we all heard and went, oh, okay, let's do that one too.
Going home?
Song called Going Home. song, yeah, can I get
A little bit of keyboards here, please.
I'm going back. Song called Love Song.
Take my time.
a very healthy news group tonight. Next up, more stuff. Greg Copeland will be up here in just a minute.
Get one of those Jamba Juice things.
How's it going?
It's going well. The rest of them.
Well, howdy, Greg. I haven't seen you for a while. For you that don't know, I'm Greg's old buck from back in the wild days. Anyway, I heard you moved up to that big town in Dixie, Oklahoma to lead a bunch of folks in singing about songs of the Lord. What in the name of Ethel made you think about that?
Well, I'm not quite sure, Preston. I came here from San Antonio, getting on close to 30 years now, and born and raised in Texas. There I am, and I've come a long way since then, I'll tell you that. Lived in Texas all my life, and I've been in Oklahoma for about 2.5 years now, and they're still trying to get me to root for the Sooners, but it's not going to happen, so.
Well, I also heard you went off and married some big city guy named Shay. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Well, and along the way, you and her lived with 2 of them little critters. What's up with that?
That is the worst Texas accent I've ever heard.
Well, thank you, Greg. That's very nice of you.
Let's see. Actually, the girl I married, Shay, is from a town smaller than I am. She's from Spearman, Texas, which is about 2,000 people in the Panhandle of Texas. And yes, we have 2 kids, Kaiser and Celis, who some of y'all know.